We begin tonight with an important new admission from Scouts Canada, a result of extensive work by our investigative unit. For months, Scouts has insisted that it had always reported allegations of abuse to police. But the organization now admits police didn't get everything. Our senior investigative correspondent, Diana Swain, first raised serious questions about Scouts' handling of abuse allegations last fall. And tonight, she has this latest CBC News exclusive on the subject. Diana.
Well, Peter, a year after we first started asking Scouts Canada about its confidential files, it's now had to contact police in a number of communities.
Scouts Canada and I personally wish to apologize sincerely and deeply to...
It was in his role as volunteer head of Scouts Canada's board that Steve Kent publicly apologized last December to any men who'd been sexually abused by their Scout leaders.
Our sincere efforts to prevent such crimes have not always succeeded. We are sorry for that.
The apology was prompted by a Fifth Estate investigation weeks earlier. It raised the question, had police ever seen the information inside hundreds of confidential files at Scouts Canada's head office in Ottawa? Our investigation centered on the case of Richard Turley. Scouts executives in BC had asked him to resign as leader in the mid-1980s, suspicious about his habit of having young Scouts share his tent. But we found no evidence Scouts went to police with their concerns or asked young boys like Jason Davies, who was then 11, if anything had happened, which it had.
He started touching me in bad places, and then he raped me straight up.
Our story led Scouts Canada to hire a forensic auditing firm to see if the files had information that hadn't been shared with police. Scouts hoped to reassure Canadians that nothing had ever gone unreported.
Any information that Scouts Canada obtains relating to abuse allegations is communicated to police. To our knowledge, there has not been deviation from this policy.
Since then, CBC News has uncovered at least 8 more cases where there's no evidence Scouts filed a complaint with police over what they feared some leaders had done to young boys.
My understanding has changed.
Now, in an interview to be broadcast on the Fifth Estate, Kent admits the forensic audit has prompted Scouts to call police about what it's already found.
I know of some others that we've uncovered as a result of the work that we're currently doing with KPMG. And what I can also tell you is that we've also already turned over records to the police.
Can you tell me how many have been handed over?
I don't want to give a specific number because the number is changing. What I can tell you, though, is that there will be complete and full disclosure when the KPMG report is released. And all of that will be made public. And I think that's important in reassuring the public that we're doing everything we can to make sure that these situations get uncovered, they get exposed, and if they haven't previously been referred to the authorities, then that needs to happen right away.
Peter, Steve Kent, who is best known to Newfoundlanders as a member of the provincial government there, but a volunteer in his role with Scouts Canada, did say that the cases they've taken to police are spread across the country. And one of them, which we brought to their attention, has now prompted Scouts Canada to send a letter to the Commissioner of the Provincial Police in Ontario to ask for an investigation.
Now, as you've reported, some of these cases go back literally decades. Right. What's the point of reporting them now?
Well, in some cases, the men who committed these crimes have never been held to account for what they did, may never have been caught. So it's a chance really to right or wrong in that case. In other cases, some of these men may in fact be in jail, but the weight of evidence of new crimes could keep them there so they don't have a chance to abuse someone else.
All right. Diana, thanks very much. Now, you can hear directly from 2 of the men at the center of the case, which prompted the letter to the OPP Commissioner. Diana's full report, The Lost Boys, airs tomorrow night on the Fifth Estate.